Hello, this is John Deal, instructor for Political Science 111, American National Government at Bucks County Community College, fall semester 2015, and this is a weekly For the Good of the Cause video. First of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about this week, which is, you'll see, it appears to be somewhat light in what the requirements are. The reason for that is because next week there are two quizzes, or one quiz on two chapters, and also your media papers due. So this week that we're currently in is designed to give you a chance to prepare for those items next week. So I don't lose the opportunity to do well next week. Make sure that you work away at some of the items you have next week all along. There's a PowerPoint this week on interest groups, which is the reading you're going to do. And what you need to do is click on the PowerPoint in the module, and then you'll see on the screen up towards the top in blue, it says Download Political or Poli 111, Chapter 9, Interest Groups 5, PPSM. That's in blue. If you click on that, it'll take you to Microsoft PowerPoint, and there's a box to click that says OK, and that'll open the PowerPoint that you have just downloaded. I hope that makes sense. If you have trouble, shoot me an email and let me know. There's also an interesting Pew Research Center webpage that has tremendous ideas for research in whatever papers that you are doing the rest of the course. I wanted you to take a look at that website, and you might even be able to use it for writing in your media paper. So play around with it a little bit and see what you can learn on the Pew Research Center website. It is excellent. It is just a fantastic place to go if you're a political junkie or happen to be in a political science course. So make sure you check that out. And there's also an audio recording. There's no video, but it's an audio recording of a WHYY program where the participants analyze whether Fox News is biased. Fox News says oftentimes they're fair and balanced, and this program looks into what Fox News is really like, which of course is related to the media topic of next week. Mr. Kelly had a question as to why we now separate the vice presidential and presidential candidates, where we have to designate that, in fact, this person's running for president and this person's running for vice president. If you think back to the presidency of John Adams, he had Thomas Jefferson as the vice president. The way we used to do it, the person who came in first was president, the person who came in second in the Electoral College was the vice president. This would most of the times would set up having a president of one party and a vice president of a different party, which could be problematical in trying to move things forward. There could be a lack of cooperation. And, you know, the vice president is the president of the Senate, so this has ramifications that they wanted to avoid. So in 1804, the Constitution was amended, and it's on page 588 of your textbook. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be the inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for vice president, and they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president and of all persons voted for as vice president and the number of votes for each. So that helps reduce difficulties in having a president of one party, vice president of another. Also, it lessens the possibility that there will be somebody who will not have a majority in the Electoral College. When there's not a majority in the Electoral College, then the House of Representatives has to vote, and this has also been problematic in past American history, where people would question whether the right person was elected. Election in 1824, Andrew Jackson was really mad because the election did not go to him, even though Jackson, had the most popular votes. So it's basically by constitutional amendment that they designated that you have to say, yes, I'm the presidential candidate and I am the vice presidential candidate, and delineate who they are. And why we did that was to avoid conflict in the executive branch. Without, we didn't want to further divide the executive branch, and also to lessen the possibility that elections would have to go into the House of Representatives to be voted on. So, Sir Kelly, I hope that answers your question in that regard. I'm really glad you asked it. I had to go back and really go to some of my old books and take a look and make sure I had that right. That was a very good question. So keep questions like that coming on content areas. It's always good to hear from you. Again, this week you have things to view and listen to. Next week you have a quiz on 2 chapters, and you have the second paper on media due next week. So there's a lot that comes in next week, not so much this week. Take advantage of your time. I deliberately set it up that way so you could get control of your paper ahead of time and not wait until the week it was due. So that's the way it's designed. If you backload and you try to do both chapters in the paper towards the end of next week, it's not going to be pretty. So work on it throughout. If you have any questions or comments, please give me an email and let me know how things are going. Okay, best wishes.